Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to Gaming News Nightly. What do you guys think about that name? You think that I should change it to Gaming News Nightly or Overnight Gaming News? Let me know in the comments below. But this is Overnight Gaming News, and for right now, if you haven't had any idea of what this is, basically I round up some of the day's topics in video game world. Could be Xbox, could be PlayStation, could be whatever's hot at the moment, and I bring them together in one video. That's less clicks for you, less work for me, and just, hey, let's be honest, a lot of fun, because I'm a fun guy, and you know, fun is fun, and fun. So with that being said, I want to jump right into this because I have a lot of topics to talk about, and you know, I think that it's one of the things that everybody is going to be talking about, you know what I'm saying? So honestly, this is something that I found to be incredibly funny and incredibly interesting, but again, you know, I have a different kind of sense of humor. So Insomniac Games tweeted out, and maybe they're not, they have to be self-aware of this. I mean, they have to be. They tweeted out, these bots won't even know what hit them. Ratchet PS5. They did that this morning, or yesterday morning by the time you guys read this or hear this. But what's funny about it is, I get it because they're robots, okay? That's the funny part. But a bot, quote unquote, if you didn't know, or if you've been living under a rock, is what a lot of people call Xbox fanboys, right? Like, oh, they're just a bot, or a rusty dusty bot, or whatever, you know what I mean? So for me personally, like, I consider like the Xbots to be not Xbot himself. You know, I have nothing but respect for that guy, but you know, the ones that just Xbox is the best box and can do no wrong type situation. You know, those are the ones that refuse to take any kind of criticism, the ones that like just think that Xbox can do nothing out of the ordinary, nothing wrong, just the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. And you know, that's the type of stuff that, you know, I just can't get down with, because honestly, I feel like Xbox, until they start putting games out, it doesn't matter what they're doing, right? Like, it doesn't matter what they do in terms of, you know, anything. It's the games. They're the most important thing. So I thought this was funny. Also, coming off the back end of the Biomutant stuff, where a lot of people were accusing PlayStation fans of harassment on the developers and stuff like that. If you look in the thread on Twitter on this, you see a lot of the Xbox fanboys doing the same thing. Look, nobody's perfect. I think that we should all just kind of chill when it comes to this stuff. I said it with the Biomutant thing. Look, I had the Xbox CE of that pre-ordered months ago. And you go, well, why did you pre-order the Xbox version? Because I'm intelligent, and I understand that it was going to be a backwards compatibility game. And that just has been working better on Xbox. Xbox seems to have been built basically as an upgraded Xbox One X. Of course, it's going to play a last-gen game better, and especially from a 20-person team. But you know, people don't want to hear that. They think it's just damage control. But I thought this was funny, and there are some salty comments in the comment section on that, to say the least. So go check that out if you haven't already. It's going to be very interesting to hear what everybody had to say about that. Now, one of the other things that I wanted to talk about was something that I talked about not too long ago, but now that we have an actual date, I wanted to kind of bring this out there. So Watch Dogs Legion is adding the PS5 performance mode on June 1st. So you don't really have that much longer to wait, and I think that that's going to be really cool to kind of see and to be a part of now. And I mentioned this before, Watch Dogs Legion is the last game that was doing only 30 frames per second as the only option on the PlayStation 5. So you have to kind of keep that in mind as we kind of go forward. Literally every game on PlayStation 5 that's from this generation is running at 60 frames, or at least running at that 60 frames. So yeah, this is pretty cool, but there's other surprises coming as well. Watch Dogs Legion's previously promised 60 frames per second update for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X will begin rolling out on the 1st of June. This is all part of the release's revised roadmap, which will also see the addition of Pensioner Helen as a new playable operator and cross-gen multiplayer between PS4 and PS5. Ubisoft is also promising a surprise, quote-unquote, but apparently more on that will be revealed closer to the time. To be fair, the French publisher has committed to some pretty strong post-release support here. Expansion pack Bloodlines, which sees the return of iconic Aiden Pierce, and Wrench will launch in July, followed by Assassin's Creed crossover content in August. You'll need the season pass to enjoy those, of course. Don't worry, if you're looking forward more to doing London without paying a premium, the series' popular Invasion and Extraction multiplayer will return in August as well, alongside various other game improvements and a Assassin's Creed World event that everyone will be able to partake in. So yeah, you only have a little more than a week, and you'll be able to play that. So I think that that's going to be fantastic for everybody that's looking to get that bump if you haven't played it yet. Now, I own this game on PlayStation 5, so obviously, yeah, it's going to be nice to see, to be able to do that and kind of get that extra 60 FPS on the market. So, yeah, cool stuff. Yeah, I love it. Now, here's this that I found to be very interesting, and this is so odd because who would have thought that this game would have been popular or blow up like it did? Roblox on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 makes perfect sense, according to the CEO. Now, Roblox is the lamest game I think I've ever, and it's for kids, so obviously it's going to be for someone like me. But a Roblox PS4 and PS5 release could be happening sooner than you'd think, as Roblox CEO Dave Baszucki has said that Switch, PlayStation, Quest, all of these platforms make sense for Roblox. He made the statements in a recent quarter one earnings call for investors. Roblox has long been on PC and Xbox platforms, but has yet to make the leap beyond those two systems. Given the massive PlayStation user base, which has exceeded more than 160 million units sold of this writing, it does indeed make sense to put Roblox on the platform, not to mention the much more powerful PlayStation 5 too. For the uninitiated, Roblox itself is a sandbox title that focuses on younger gamers, perhaps more comparable to Lego style of version of Dreams than anything else. Roblox allows the imaginations of players to run wild, allowing them to create, share all manners of world, characters, stories, and games. So, obviously, you know, this is going to be a pretty big deal. Sort of like, it's like a Minecraft type situation, but you could do, it's not like, they don't look like Legos or whatever, but yeah. This is really, really interesting, and I found this to be some interesting news because a lot of people point to Roblox for some reason as some big Xbox exclusive. I've never looked at it that way because you can play this game on an iPad or whatever. So, you know, but then again, when you haven't had an exclusive AAA launch from Xbox itself in, you know, 625 days, you sort of kind of stretch out there to look for these type of things and wonder what's going to happen next or what's going to come next, because again, you know, this is just something that honestly shouldn't really come as much of a surprise. Like, really, anybody who has a game, they're probably interested in putting those games on PlayStation. Why would you want to not put your game on PlayStation, considering, you know, all the interesting and things that's going on lately, and the fact that PlayStation games are selling so well, and there's so many consoles sold and things like that? I think it just makes perfect sense, and it would be like a match made in heaven. I think that's probably what we're going to see sooner rather than later. The other thing I wanted to talk about was the Biomutant situation, just a little bit more to touch on this. And again, I ask everybody to chill. If you're a PlayStation owner, chill. We don't need to be out there, you know, harassing developers. You know, they're working hard. It's during a pandemic and all this kind of stuff. But THQ Nordic responds to angry PS5 owners over Biomutant's missing 4K support. So Biomutant is going to be releasing on the PlayStation 5. Actually, it's not releasing natively on the PS5. It's releasing on the PS4 and PS4 Pro, and the PS4 Pro version is the one that you have access to on the PS5. Without native support for 4K resolution, which has naturally put the PlayStation community in a foul mood. Taken to Twitter earlier today, publisher THQ Nordic reminded everyone that developer Experiment 101 is technically not a AAA, and despite consisting less than 24 staff members, has still worked hard on Biomutant for several years. THQ Nordic understands why many PS5 owners out there will not be happy about the game's supported resolution, but requests them not to question the skill or dedication of Experiment 101. THQ Nordic said this: "We are not a AAA, and the studio behind Biomutant consists of only 20 people. They've been working very hard on this game for the last years. You don't have to like the final product, but please don't question their skill or dedication to the game. Now, Biomutant received some new gameplay footage, which has revealed that due to stability and performance-related reasons, Experiment 101 decided to deactivate native 4K support on the release version of the PS5, and the game will be running at 60 frames at 1080p instead. So that's something that you have to kind of keep in mind as well. On the other side of the fence, the Biomutant will be running dynamically at 4K and 1440p on the Series X and the Series S respectively at 60 frames. So again, easier to kind of get the backwards compatibility stuff out there. Anybody that thinks the Series S, which is running 1440p at 60, is more powerful than the PS5 or something, go to a loony bin ASAP, because that's not the case. They will eventually update this and it'll all get straightened out, and the game will run and pretty much play the same as the Xbox Series X, and everybody can chill out. But until that point, I think that it's just something that everybody's going to have to kind of deal with and understand that, developers are human, and at the end of the day, they're doing the best they can. Thank you guys for watching. Have a fantastic day. Rack 'em up. Crapgamer out.